there! In this video, we'll be looking on how to paint Grizzly Bloodied Flayed Flesh for all your nefarious needs. We'll be painting it on a Flesh Eater Court's Cryptguard banner, but this guide can be used on many trophies and adornments, just like the Necron Flayed Ones and Drukhari Homunculi cloaks. The paints we'll be using are on the screen right now. We also have a list of the additional equipment we've used, but you can use whatever brushes you feel most comfortable with, and you can change the mediums with water instead. If you're new to painting or want to brush up on your skills, you can check out the Citadel Colour Painting Essentials videos to learn all about paints and techniques. For our grotesque flayed flesh, we'll be undercoating our model in Grey Seer, as this will give us the undead and slightly rotting undertone we're after. So let's get painting. So we'll be starting with a base coat of Cadian Flesh Tone over our banner. Even with this colour being a layer paint, we still need to thin down our paint and apply it in multiple thin coats. Roughly 2 to 3 coats will fully cover smoothly over the undercoat. This acts as a great base for the other colours we'll be adding on top for our Grizzly pennant. With our base coat nice and dry, we can look to adding some bruising and shadow to the skin with Targor Rage Shade. We'll thin down 1 part Targor Rage Shade with 2 parts Lahmian Medium, so it's not too strong when we apply it. As we're moving it around the banner, just be wary that adding too much will allow the shade to pull downwards. So you might find it's best to add it in small amounts and laying it flat to dry. Then do the same on the other side afterwards. Remember, you can always remove any pooling shade while it's still wet with a clean brush. And you can always add another thin layer once it's dry if you want any darker recesses. Now that our shading is complete and looking rather bruised, we can tidy up and refine the edges of the banner with Cadian Flesh Tone and our small layer brush. This step allows us to just tidy up any areas that look a little bit too dark or have some patches that we're not happy with, but also gets us started on our highlighting. You can even add small lines down from the edges. This acts as fraying, or if the skin is shrinking over time. Next, we can start highlighting those gruesome edges and rips with Kislev Flesh. We want to keep those lines small and sharper than the first highlight, so we'll just twist our small layer brush on the palette to get a point to the bristles. This also helps us control how much paint we apply too. Then we can add one last edge highlight of Deepkin Flesh on those very raised or damaged areas. Using such a pale and slightly green tone helps us make that flesh look on the edge of decaying, with that obvious blood loss. Just take your time and make sure those highlights are small and sharp. With that poor soul's epidermis now finished, we can look to adding some quick blood to it, just to give it a bit of character. If you want to add some dried blood patches and streaks, we'll be using Flesh Tearers Red. We can either use a small base or layer brush with this, depending on how messy you want to be. You can dot on the contrast in small amounts, or to create pools or splats. You can drag the brush lightly with very little paint on the bristles to get a bloody smear or streak downwards. You can also cross-hatch in the inside area of the banner quite heavily with very little paint. This can create a bruised but bloody side, where it was attached to someone. Oh, that looks painful. And if you want some wet, fresher blood, we can use blood for the Blood God. We can either use it instead of our dry blood or add it on top for a bit more texture and colour. Here we'll be popping it on top of some of the other areas. Remember that less is more when it comes to this type of detail, even though Khorne would disagree. And with that last drop of blood, our flayed flesh banner is looking creepy, disgusting and perfect for any delusional creature. We can also apply these steps to the Cryptguard's drum too, especially if focusing on those rhythmatic blood splats would cause such a mess. And remember, you can make your twisted miniatures in your collection look even more sinister with these paints and techniques. For more tutorials, tips and tricks, check out the videos on the Warhammer YouTube channel, or head to your local Warhammer store where our amazing staff would be happy to help. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!